fresh pan of fried chicken. You can't wait 1 damn minute to get some tongs and use them appropriately. Where are your parents? Whose kid is this? Oh my God, no! This is crazy. Today, we're taking a tour through the absolute nightmare fuel that is people finding out what is going on behind the scenes at their favorite restaurants. And trust me, it's not just the sketchy spots. Fancy restaurants, fast food chains, mom and pop shops, buffets, nowhere is safe. And all of the buffet clips are coming in the second half of the video because, let's be real, they're a lot to emotionally process, and we're gonna have to work our way up to that.
On the garbage can. We can. I mean, I don't think.
They're using the top of the trash can like it's a table. They're using the top of the trash can like it's a table. They're balancing the bowl on the open top of the trash can and taking things out of it and putting it into another bowl. Doesn't tell me what restaurant this is, but this probably happens more times than we care to admit, just being honest.
Are you serving this to people?
No. Sorry, sir, you can't come up for me.
I recently questioned management at New China on New Hope Road in Lawrenceville after an employee was caught cutting meat on the ground outside the restaurant. Meat is being cut behind the restaurant on the ground. I want to make sure that's not being served to customers.
No, it's not.
Management said the employee was preparing food for his own consumption and was later fired. And who could forget about this incident? An inspector forced an employee to throw away food at the crispy crunchy chicken inside the Chevron on Fulton Industrial in Atlanta. This after rats were seen roaming around the kitchen area. How many rats do you have here?
Like 10, 15, some
10 to 15 rats here?
like this. Sometimes.
And they're getting into the food?
Ew! I don't care if that employee was preparing his own food on the ground out back. The fact that that employee thought that it was acceptable to cook and cut food from the ground behind the building basically tells you all you need to know about his hygiene. No, should have absolutely been fired. I don't care if he was cooking his own food or not. And oh my gosh, just, a dozen rats. No big deal. No big deal. Oh man.
Y'all, I had to pull over in the parking lot. Why Naya done got a crispy sandwich from McDonald's and ate half of the doggone sandwich on the other side of this thing. Back it up so they can see this. Mold. Moldy bread. The child I ate mold. We gotta go to the emergency room. Now we gotta go sit up in the emergency room. I'm talking about fresh hot meat, but a moldy piece of bread. Now my child, I had to pull over because Naya throwing up in the parking lot. Child throwing up in the parking lot. Now we gotta go to us. We suing McDonald's.
Okay, so it's McDonald's. They had some moldy bread. Unknowingly, we're gonna say unknowingly, served up moldy bread. When you go purchase food at a restaurant, you shouldn't have to feel the need to examine it and make sure that there's nothing nasty on your food, that there's no mold on your food. Now, does she actually have to go to the emergency room? I don't think so. I mean, eating moldy bread is not required emergency, I don't think, unless she ate like a huge mold spore and she's feeling sick. I don't know. You tell me in the comments, is eating mold a reason to go to the emergency room? I don't necessarily think so. But this right here is just a reminder to always look at your food when you eat it and don't sit and eat your food in the dark, because what if she would have eaten that whole burger in the dark, like watching a movie or something, unknowingly eating patches of mold on her burger bun? Oh my God. Ugh. Oh my God, no! This is a Wendy's. And that right there is a roach in the French fry cup. There's a roach in the French fry cup. Don't grab it. Don't grab it. Don't grab it. Don't grab it. Don't. Oh God, the one next to it. Oh God, there it is. Do you see that chick walk by just staring at whoever is filming this? They probably have no idea. Oh my God, what if they grab it? Please tell me that the person filming this tells them to remove that cup because there's a roach in it. Please don't tell me that they just leave it and let them serve somebody French fries in a roach cup. Oh my God. Say something.
Cooking right now.
Okay. You got a roach. You got a bug.
You want to get me a...
Yeah.
Throw them away. Throw them away. He just cut the bug off and then he's just gonna go on business as usual? Throw them away.
All right, and I'm still in on for the cabin.
Yeah, so this is what happens.
Okay. All right.
Yes. Ketchup and
And just like that, the video's over. Those cups probably cost a penny each. Just throw them away. Throw them away. Even if they don't really give a shit about the roach, they got rid of the roach. Even if they don't care, they know that this person, I believe it's, a DoorDash or an Uber Eats driver picking up orders, they can clearly see that he's filming and he filmed the roach. So you're not gonna even just throw all of the sleeves away just for the performance aspect and the illusion that you give a shit? No, you're just gonna flick the roach off and just keep going. Business as usual. You're not even going to pretend for the camera like you care that there was a roach crawling all over those sleeves. Like you can't even pretend. You can't even pretend. Oh boy. So this caption says, KMJ Diner is supposed to be a new restaurant. So why is the kitchen looking like this? I work there one night and this place is beneath me. I have more pride than that. This place needs some serious help because the owners don't care. So this is just like a mom and pop diner. This is what the kitchen looks like in a mom and pop diner. See all that food sitting on the floor? Gordon Ramsay would have a field day.
I don't believe what I'm seeing here. Outside in the back, uncovered, that is disgusting. Unbelievable. In a large pot out back, there's flies around here. This is a garden hose in with what looks like pork or some kind of meat. And look, it's draining. I just can't believe my eyes. Several pounds of pork thawing in a filthy mop sink. A garden hose is running inside of it. The pork runoff is creating a stream of nastiness down into the street. And by the looks of this crud buildup, this must be the norm here. Hi. How are you? I want to talk to somebody about the meat. I wanted to talk to someone about the meat back here. We are ignored. This scene is behind Dragon City, the address 6708 Sterling Road. That is in Davie. And last week, Dragon City was ordered shut due to a roach issue. But this site, as we walked up, had us stopped in our tracks. Who's doing this with the meat up here?
There's a pool of water out.
You can't do that. Are you kidding me? That's unsanitary and unsafe. We go to the front door of Dragon City looking for a manager, but they had locked it. And when we returned to the back, that pork had been taken inside. It's full of flies here. And this is unbelievable. Unbelievable that a restaurant that has been serving you for some 19 years would think this is okay. Last week, Dragon City was ordered shut after an inspector noted live and dead roaches in the kitchen, on a table, next to a rice warmer, under a slicer, crawling next to bowls, behind a microwave, and under a food prep table. That is a repeat violation. State records show roach issues were also spotted inside Dragon City back in February and August of last year. We went back days later. This is the hose that they were using. Take a look at how nasty it is. Just sits here. And the smell, I know you can't smell it, but it stinks.
Yes, sir. What's it?
Yes, I'd like to talk to somebody about the pork and the way they were thawing it outside. She goes to the back of the restaurant and never comes back. Hello, sir? Ma'am?
He's not here right now.
We reported these findings to the state. An inspector was back out here, but the inspection report doesn't indicate if they made Dragon City throw out the pork that we saw thawing out back days before. No one here would tell us if it was already served up. Dragon City was the only place ordered shut in South Florida last week. They are back open and serving you again, following an ordered cleanup and then a reinspection.
Last week. That's the thing. There's so many things that I have to say about this. Okay, first of all, let's talk about the roaches. I know, that's what I want to start with. I want to start with the roaches. Almost every place that has food is going to possibly have an issue with roaches. It's the reality of the food industry. Roaches will love to live in things like produce boxes. If you didn't know anything about roaches, they love to eat the glue and cardboard, the really super thick boxes that a lot of produce come in, like banana boxes or tomato cases. Just a lot of the really thick cardboard. There's plenty of space inside of there for roaches to hide. Babies will get in there, they'll be eating the glue, and then you'll unknowingly bring roaches into a restaurant. The responsibility of any place that's serving food that does happen to bring roaches in, it's your responsibility to eradicate it or at least control it. It's not like roaches are only at disgusting restaurants. One of my in-laws' families used to have a restaurant and roaches were a constant problem, but they controlled them. They were always getting something in because they were getting food orders in. It's just the reality of the business. If you've ever worked in a restaurant, let me know down in the comments, am I right or wrong? Roaches and food go hand in hand. Just like expecting mice and rats to try to come in and find food goes hand in hand. It's about the restaurant's ability to control the problem. And when restaurants refuse to take these kind of problems seriously, it turns into infestation, and that's when the health department comes in, and that's when the health department ends up shutting restaurants down. But this right here was the scary reality of the situation where all they have to do is clean up, come in for a reinspection, and they get to open up again. They're open again. After everything that we just saw, after the unsanitary process of thawing pork in a big pot with a nasty, dirty garden hose inside of a filthy mop sink behind the building. After all of that, they were allowed to reopen. Do you think they're ever gonna do that again? My opinion is probably. They're probably going to go back to doing exactly what they were doing before, and they'll probably end up getting shut down again. And the scariest part of all of this is people probably go to that restaurant and they have no idea about the health code violations. They're probably wondering why the restaurant was closed. They're a little curious about that, but thank you for being here. Hit the like button if you like me exposing If you like me exposing this kind of stuff, hit the thumbs up. I appreciate it. Okay, now that we're good and warmed up, we are going to get into the meat of the video, which is buffets. You know, I used to really like going to buffets, and the reason why is because I like to have a little bit of a lot of things. But after seeing these clips, I don't know if I can look at buffets the same way again. Let me show you.
See, that got to be thrown out, sir. That got to be thrown away. No, sometimes they keep the two containers. See, that's somebody's going to get sick. That needs to go in the trash, sir. Immediately. Have somebody throw that away, man. Please. So it's important because I understand money is important, but the food and safety. See.
So it looks like that's fish that's not being kept to proper temperature. Is this supposed to be a health inspector, or is this just a TikToker going around to restaurants pretending to be a health inspector? Regardless, the temperature is the temperature, and I'm glad that, you know, this restaurant was called out and they threw away this fish, but that's one of the things about buffets. If buffet tables are not being properly held to temp, people can get very, very, very sick, especially with something like fish.
Listen, I'm not a fan of buffets by far, but my 7-year-old son did good in school for the week. We went where we promised him we would go, and that was Golden Corral, which is his favorite spot. He doesn't like to wait.
This is the gross reason why you should never eat at buffets. Many people enjoy going to numerous different kinds of buffets, but many of these buffets are actually a breeding ground for bacteria. For starters, you should never ever touch the sneeze guard that is covering the food. This is because countless people have either coughed or sneezed on this, or even they've touched it themselves. So there is potentially loads of bacteria on this. Not only this though, but if food has been sitting out for long periods of time, you should completely avoid this food. Or if it's not being kept at the proper temperature, you could be potentially getting sick from it. Not only this though, but if there's utensils buried in the food, you want to avoid this. This is because the germs from the utensils have now transferred into that food. And who really knows where other people's hands have been before?
Chad, they say this is why the lobster is never available at buffets. Let's see. Damn! Bro, just barely put it out. Hold on, let's get that back. Let's rewind that back. Hold on. Look in the left right here. Peep over here in the left. Look at this big scoop. Look. Oh my gosh. Bro.
Ew, okay. These savages going after crab legs. Do you look, you could see she's literally holding them, using her hands. Oh my gosh.
I know about temperature. The pizza was... You're the manager? That's good? No, I'm good. That's good? I promised I wasn't gonna, I didn't come for this. I work for the county, for a taster, and temperature.
Not fresh.
Not fresh.
Okay.
The pizza, yeah, please. Thank you, sorry.
Boss, come here.
Huh?
I'll have my boss come here,
Oh,
okay?
okay.
That's crazy. They're really serving people that?
That fruit is so incredibly rotten. Why would they even put that out? You have eyeballs. You can see that the fruit is bad. Why are they putting it on the buffet? Where are your parents? First of all, why is this tiny, tiny child going up to a buffet on his own? Okay, I understand you want to teach your kid independence, but most buffets, they ask children under the age of 10 to be accompanied by an adult. This child is clearly under the age of 10. But why on earth does this child think that this is acceptable? Has this child not been taught? Are the parents just completely just letting the kid just do whatever he wants? I would be embarrassed if this was my child. And if I witnessed this, I would scream very loudly, "Whose kid is this? Whose kid is this? Nobody eat here." Like, this is crazy. Whose kid is licking the utensils?
Name one restaurant you will never eat at, no matter how hungry you are.
So I used to work for a law firm that represented a certain local buffet restaurant chain. And the amount of cases that we had where people got deathly sick from eating there was staggering. I'm not going to say who it was, but I'll give you a hint. Their jingle went, "The choice is yours at If you live in Utah, you know exactly who I'm talking about.
Who is she talking about? Put in the comments. Put in the comments. Who is she talking about? Utah residents. Where is that jingle from? Now I must know. Let me know, please. Please. I can't sleep until I know what buffet this is.
A patron records an employee. At a pizza restaurant, a patron records an employee. Sampling soup from the serving label.
This whole place is on something.
The quintuple dipping antics continue, much to the apparent horror of nearby diners.
My husband's in the thing.
Oh my God.
Literally eating out of the container.
There we go. All right.
Okay, to be fair, she was grabbing only the pieces she was putting on her plate. That was to be fair. But why can't you be patient enough to wait for a pair of tongs? It is a fresh pan of fried chicken. It's a fresh pan of fried chicken. You can't wait 1 damn minute to get some tongs and use them appropriately. You gotta get your fingers in there. Come on. Just a little bit of patience, a little bit of decorum. I don't think you need the chicken that fast. Just give it a minute.
I can never eat buffet ever again, and I'll tell you why. Years ago, I took my kids to Disneyland, and we went to the breakfast, right, with the characters and all that. And I went over to where the food was, and I saw unaccompanied children, like probably 5 or 6. So, you know, their hygiene habits are not super great. And I saw a kid picking his nose as he was running around unsupervised. And then I saw him grab something. It was probably like a muffin or a cupcake or something. He looked at it and then he put it back. What? Yeah, no, I can't eat at buffets.
Someone tell me what this is. This is what I was just eating. Oh my gosh. What the hell is that?
It is a roach. A real roach. That's a roach, twin. Look at this shit. Oh my God. Oh my God. Let me see. Shawty, you don't want that, Shawty. You don't want that. You don't want that. I just got a roach on camera. Okay. Oh. Dead serious. Lord have mercy. Ugh.
And that wraps up the tour of restaurant horrors that nobody asked for. If you're still hungry after that, I applaud your resilience. Let me know down in the comments, what was the one thing that grossed you out the most? I am having trouble picking my favorite worst. Let me know what yours was. Thank you so much for watching. If you like this kind of content, remember to hit the thumbs up before you leave. I greatly appreciate it. It also does help me out with the YouTube algorithm, so I love you for it. While you're down there, also double check, make sure you are subscribed, ring the notification bell, that way you're notified whenever I post my next video. Thank you guys again so much for watching, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.